Hello friends, welcome to the video on the Inclusive Tsunami Early Warning Chain SOP for special schools. The purpose of this guide is to help all students become better prepared for tsunami disaster. However, it is important to understand that not everyone is in the same situation. Persons with disabilities are often disproportionately affected by tsunamis and have different and uneven level of resilience and capacity to recover. In Indonesia, around 8.5% or 22.5 million people are persons with disabilities who face challenges in terms of accessibility, mobility, and communication when a tsunami disaster occurs. The tsunami early warning chain must be able to reach the most remote and vulnerable communities, including persons with disabilities, so that more lives can be saved and no one left behind. From 2015 to 2017, Professor Harkunti Pertiwi Rahayu PhD developed an inclusive tsunami early warning chain SOP for special schools through a Pentahelix participatory approach, which involved the community, local government, business entities, academics, and mass media as an interface medium for receiving and disseminating tsunami early warning information. An evaluation of the SOP shows that there has been inadequate consideration of persons with disabilities. Special attention is needed to ensure the safety of persons with disabilities during a tsunami, including the provision of necessary equipment at the early warning stage. In addition, the SOP also needs to consider the active role of persons with disabilities in building disaster resilience. Through the 2024 Matching Fund Program, Professor Harkunti Pertiwi Rahayu PhD developed an inclusive tsunami early warning chain SOP for special schools. This SOP is a local or community level SOP and is expected to be integrated with the tsunami early warning system SOP at the higher levels, namely city, national, and regional levels. This SOP video will help school members, especially blind, deaf, and physically disabled students at the special schools to know what steps to take when an earthquake and tsunami occur. The SOP consists of 5 main steps that students must take when an earthquake occurs during the early warning 1, early warning 2, early warning 3, and early warning 4. Let's learn the steps together. If students feel a strong shaking, it means an earthquake is happening. Don't panic. Follow the instructions from the class teacher. Immediately exit the room. If you cannot exit the room, immediately perform duck, cover, hold steps. Duck down, take cover under the table, and hold onto the table legs. When the earthquake stopped, the principal immediately rang the long bell, signaling the students to leave their classrooms and head to the field or school assembly point. Class teachers would guide the students either by giving verbal instructions to blind and physically disabled students or by waving red flags to deaf students. Once the students had gathered in the field, the teachers would check that all students were present. In addition, the KSBS team would prepare the first aid kits and evacuation equipment needed for physically disabled students. If any students are missing, the class teacher immediately asks for assistance by reporting it to the KSBS team to search for the students left behind. The teacher then immediately leads the students in the assembly point to conduct self-evacuation to the Tsunami Evacuation Shelter or TES or the Final Evacuation Site or TEA. For deaf students, teachers will raise a red flag and give instructions in sign language to evacuate to the TES or TEA. For blind students, teachers will give verbal instructions to evacuate and guide them using rope and canes brought from the classroom. For students with the physical disabilities, class teachers and the KSBS team will assist students in using the necessary evacuation equipment. 4 minutes after the earthquake, BMKG, as the designated agency responsible for issuing earthquake information and tsunami warnings in Indonesia, issued an Early Warning 1 or PD1, which included information on the potential for a tsunami and the warning status. The PD1 news was received by the school principal via smartphone that functioned as an early warning receiver system in special schools. In addition, Early Warning 1 will be received by deaf students via smartwatches with vibration and flashing screens. Early Warning 1 is also received by KSBS team from the BPBD Emergency Operation Center via WhatsApp group. The school principal or KSBS team who has received this news immediately rings the school bell to signal that the school community must evacuate. Students whose classes are already complete, guided by teachers, immediately continue the evacuation to the TES or TEA as in the previous stage. Meanwhile, the KSBS team will look for students in the classes that are not yet complete and assist those who are injured or need special support during evacuation. A few moments later, BMKG issued Early Warning 2 or PD2, informing that the tsunami would arrive soon. The principal, who had received this news, immediately ordered the teachers to speed up the evacuation process and clear the school, moving to the TES or TEA with the support of the KSBS team. For deaf, blind, and physically disabled students who have already evacuated, teachers will guide them to continue the evacuation process to the tsunami evacuation site or TES or final evacuation site or TEA as in the previous stage. The KSBS team will continue to search for students who are still at the school and assist students who are injured or require special assistance to immediately evacuate and clear the school. During the evacuation process, teachers, the KSBS team, and the principal supervise the students as they evacuate and remain vigilant along the evacuation route until they reach the tsunami evacuation site or TES or final evacuation site or TEA. Shortly after the Early Warning 2 alert was issued, BMKG issued an Early Warning 3 or PD3, informing that the first tsunami wave had reached land. The school principal or KSBS team who received the Early Warning 3 alert then informed the school community to remain in the TES or TEA until the tsunami warning ended. Next, the KSBS team will report the triage results to the principal, and the principal will follow up the report by coordinating with Regional Disaster Management Agency, either Centers for Disaster Management Operations or the call center, regarding the handling of the school residents who have injuries that cannot be treated by the school, such as severe and moderate injuries. After that, BMKG issued Early Warning 4 or PD4, which indicates that the tsunami early warning has ended. The principal or KSBS team who has received the Early Warning 4 news informs the school community. When the situation has improved sufficiently, the school principal or KSBS team, in coordination with the homeroom teachers, immediately informs the parents or guardians of the students to pick up their children at the TES or TEA that has been agreed before. Friends, regular drills and understanding evacuation procedures are crucial for our safety during a tsunami. Remember, the early warning system is for everyone without exception. Early warning for all, no one left behind. Together we are strong, together we survive.